Minglaba. In these videos, you will learn what the data visualization, why data visualization is important, and which graph to choose to present the different information. Let's start what is data visualization. Data visualization provides a way to drive insights from the data and let you communicate about the data with others, especially non-technical audience without confusions. Data visualization can make or break your project. If you use a wrong chat type to present your result, your audience will not understand your data. And they will not use this data to make a final decisions, to make the proper decisions. Right? So it is very important to choose a right format of the data type and right data type, right type of the is important to choose the correct data type, right, to correct graph to present the data. All right. Depending on the audience, you might be using more complicated graph or simpler graph. But these are a few points that I would like to highlight here. Your graph, your presentation must be understandable. Good looking does not mean more readable. We should be able to provide the information and answers rather than making the audience confused and coming up with more questions. Your graph must be simple. Remember, our main goal is to convince the audience, or to clarify the point. It is better to use a consistent font size or font color. Fancy does not always give you the best business outcome. So when we choose the graph, what kind of format, what kind of graph you use, we have to think this way. All right. So we have to start with in this video, we will start with most commonly used graph type, right? Such as box plot, histogram, and pie chart, right? So before diving into the drawing the graph, we need to think what we want to know, right? We need to think what we want to know. For example, in our donor data set, we might want to know the lowest and highest income for a year, right? Which values are the most common for a particular investment program. In other words, we want to see the statistical distribution of a particular data set. In this case, we will use either histogram or box plot to see the distribution of the uh, one particular investment program. Right? Pie chart can be used to show the data composition. This is one of the most commonly used. All right. For instance, we will use a pie chart to see how does each program contributes to the total income for a particular years. So in summary, if you want to see only if you want to study only the one single variables, all right, depending on the distribution or composition, you will be using pie chart, box plot, and histograms. Now, let's say if you want to see the relationship between variables, all right, what kind of graph can we use? This really depends on the data types, right? Let's recall we have two data types. One is a categorical and numerical, all right? Okay. So if you want to see the compare the numerical values across the different categories, we will be using the bar graph. Okay. Here, bar graph, you can use a bar graph or horizontal bar graph, right? Or we want to see the relationship between two numerical values, for example, income and investment amount. We will be using scatter plot, line plot, or point plots, right? If we want to use the numerical data across over the time, right? Continuous numerical values over the time, we will be using the line plot. Right? So depending on the data type and your objective, you will be using the different graph type. Okay. In Python, there are three common libraries that we use: Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Plotly. Right? In this video, in the next videos, we will be talking about all this library, and particularly we will focus on the Matplot library. Thank you for watching my videos. Bye for now.